Probably the waiting time. I think at Russell's Hall Hospital, you have to wait a lot to get seen and things.
Is that in the accident and emergency or for an appointment?
Accident and emergency.
Okay.
Appointments.
Appointments with your GP
Yeah.
or what problems do you get at the moment then?
Trying to get to see a doctor.
So, is in making your appointments or getting through on the phone?
Getting through on the phone, and when you get through on the phone, all the appointments have gone.
So how long do you have to wait normally?
2 or 3 days.
Is that to see any doctor or have you got a favourite doctor?
Any doctor.
Yeah. Waiting time, is that at your local GP or hospital? Or
And doctors.
doctors? So
Appointment, getting into the doctors is terrible.
is it, and is that just to see any doctor or have you got a favourite?
And that could be any doctor.
Right, okay. So you
What I don't agree with is the doctor opening at 8 o'clock, taking appointments, but they're not answering the phone until 8:30, by which time you get through, you can't get in for that day.
yeah, they've all gone, so it's frustrating, isn't it?
Lessen the waiting time.
Is that waiting times at your GP surgery or
Yeah, especially the GP surgery.
what happens at the moment when you try and get an appointment?
I have to have a week in advance or something like that.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So you can get through on the phone, but when you're trying to book the appointment, there's nothing free for a week.
Yeah.
And is that with a particular GP or with anybody at the practice?
I think that's in general.
Right, okie dokie. And when you say waiting times, anything else like the local hospital or community appointments for like physiotherapy and stuff like that?
No, it's more the GP thing, I'd say.
Okay, that's lovely, thank you.
Alright.
Right, can I just...
More walk-in centres, yeah. Because there's only the one by Russell's Hall, isn't there? I think.
It's actually closed now.
Is it? Oh, well, a walk-in centre.
So why do you use the walk-in centre? Can you not get appointments at your surgery or
I think
You
it
have
was.
to phone up really
yeah.
early, like on the day, and it's hard.
is it just like a convenience thing?
Yeah.
So if you could just go somewhere and see a GP when you needed to without having to go through the formality of appointments, would that just be easier?
Yeah.
Go on, I'll ask you.
Better communication between like your GP and like the hospitals.
Have you had an
So-
experience where it hasn't worked well?
Well, yeah, like, because I had to have an operation and my GP knew nothing about it from when I was going to the hospital. So like, they didn't have a clue what we was on about.
Right,
Because
okay.
all the notes haven't been sent over.
Right, okay, thank you. Anyone else on this table?
I think if it does more advertising, because you always get the things afterwards saying, oh, this went wrong, this has gone bad, or you should have done this, not this. But maybe if they advertised it a bit more, saying where you should go and what you should do.
So more helping you make the right choices.
Yeah, so like advertising that you can go to the pharmacies, because a lot of people don't know that.
yeah, and like where they are and what you can go for.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else on this table?
Yeah, open at weekends as well rather than weekdays.
Is this like your GP surgery?
Yeah.
So would you feel more comfortable going at the weekend, or is that just the only time that you can go?
Not more comfortable at the weekend.
Okay.
Rather than in college times or something.
Right, okay, thank you. Anyone else?
More like walk-in centres, like within doctor's surgeries. Because my doctor has like walk-in on Tuesday and Thursday.
I'd rather have the walk-in centres open longer, so people after work they can have appointments.
What would be the ideal time to be open, do you think?
To be open till probably about 7, 8 o'clock in the evening.
Okay, and would you like them open weekends as well?
Yeah.
Or okay, and what about what time in the morning? What would be a good time?
About 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Okay.
More compassionate and competent doctors and nurses. Because like in the hospitals and that, like some of them don't seem to want to be there and don't seem to actually like want to communicate with the patients.
And does it feel like difficult to approach them as well? Like
Yeah, like they seem kind of like a little bit uptight.
Better mental health services in Dudley, because I was at Dove House last year on a placement, and a lot of changes are happening where it's closing down and it's affecting a lot of the service users.
Do you think there should be more mental health care in the community rather than at specified places?
Yeah, because when they leave their specified places to go back into the community, there's not a lot for them.
Okay, and do you think if they had mental health care services in the community, people would access them more easily? Do you think there'd be less of a stigma?
Yeah, a lot less.
Okay, and is that for all age groups or?
Yeah. 18 onwards.
The waiting times, they're like really long, and then they should prioritise who's like in a bad condition, because it's kind of like a first come first served kind of thing. So if someone's like really ill, they have to wait longer.
At the accident and emergency, you mean? So if you go to Russell's Hall, you want them like triaged and assessed so they can see who you need to looking at first. Okay, thank you.
I think that doctors need to be more like interested in what you want to say, because I went to the doctor the other day and there was a student, like doctor training kind of thing, to be a GP, and she seemed to like do a lot more checks rather than ones that have already been qualifying for it. So.
Do you feel like the new ones are a little bit more eager and like a little bit
they want to
greener?
do more for you rather than just. I was in there like say 5 minutes longer than what I would be usually.
Yeah. Do you think there's just like a difference in attitudes between those who've been doing it for a while and?
Yeah. So they kind of like they just do the basic rather than. I don't know. She kind of double checked the student one. I know she's training, but.
Did it make you feel more reassured?
Yeah.
Okay. Lovely. Thank you. Anyone else on this table?
There should be more nurses and more doctors to do doctor's appointments at GP surgeries rather than A&E, so obviously like reduce the time at A&E for people who actually need it.
I think that GP doctors should spend more time with their patients in order to diagnose them better and understand their concerns as well. So obviously that would save the patients to go to the hospital after.
So when you go and visit your surgery, like your GP, you've got like an allotted appointment time. How
It's
long?
10 minutes
How
maximum.
long do you think it should be?
I think at least 15 or 20. It depends on the case as well. Depends on the patient, what they actually need from the doctor.
More 24-hour walk-in centres, because then it'll stop people, like 3 o'clock in the morning, it'll stop people going, like more people going to A&E. So then it'll save them money from not having to keep people in home and out.
With the NHS, they take a long time to get back to people. Like my granddad's been waiting for 5 months for a hip operation, which means he can only stay in bed. And the other day he tried to get out and he fell. So like I think if they just got back to him a bit earlier, like that wouldn't have happened. So.
And has he had an appointment and it's been cancelled, or has he just not had an appointment
No,
at
like
all?
they just keep saying like, oh, we'll get back to you, we'll get back to you, and he's been waiting for 5 months now. So all he can do is stay in bed.
And has he got anyone looking after him?
Yeah, my nan's looking after him.
Well, obviously it's hard for her as well.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, thank you.
I think allowing more people to be able to prescribe might be a good idea. Like nurses, they always have to wait for the doctors to sign. It takes a lot of time. You're just sitting there, do nothing. And hospitals, you have to wait ages for a prescription if you're going to leave.
Yeah. So speed up the hospital discharge when you're getting your prescription, and if you knew you could see a nurse at the surgery who could prescribe, you think that would free things up.
Yeah.
Okay, lovely, thank you.
I think like people should be made more aware that they don't have to pay for their prescription, even if they don't see the GP.
So do you think that would encourage people to take better care of their health, or maybe get seen quicker by like a pharmacy, for example?
I think then like more younger people would walk into the chemist and ask for advice rather than going to the GP. Because like I only found out today myself that I thought that when I walked in the chemist I had to pay for my prescription as if I didn't have a prescription off the GP.
Yeah.
Whereas like now I know that I don't have to if I don't have to pay for it.
Right, okay, lovely, thank you.
I'd want to see more nurses and GPs, because I only have like 1 or 2 like at certain times.
Would you feel more comfortable seeing a nurse than a GP?
It wouldn't really bother me, it's just convenient. It's like with the nurse, it's just drop in.
Yeah, so like it's just that convenience thing again, isn't it? Great, thank you.
I think that like, do you know when you go and see a doctor, I think they should explain more what they're doing, like the treatment. Because my nan had to go for injections for a shoulder for arthritis, and he didn't tell her what he was doing, like he was just stuck behind her, like putting needles in her. He didn't even tell her what he was doing, my mum did.
The thing I'd change is when the receptionist has to get some money when you phone up for an appointment, because I feel that's like really embarrassing. Like sometimes I don't want to say, and I just think I should change that.
Have you ever not said what's wrong with you and said I'd rather see the doctor and not tell you?
Yeah, sometimes I've said that because I feel like they're just trying to like know what's up so they can just say I'll ring back later for an appointment, or like try and get someone else who needs the appointment to.
You feel like they're making the decision as to whether you do need to be seen or not?
Yeah.
Right, okay, thank you.
I've changed the GP opening times and made them longer hours, so there's more appointments for the people as well.
And what would be your ideal hours, do you think?
Probably till about 7, 8 o'clock at night.
And what about weekends? Would you have weekend opening?
I think so.
Right, okay, lovely, thank you.